Good morning, YouTube family. On my way to work. It is Wednesday morning for me. So the middle of the week is kind of exciting because after this week it's over. One more week until I go to Florida. This is Francie with Finding Joy Through Serving. Just trying to be more purposeful in life and help others find opportunities, pray for opportunities to help others and not ignore them. So stay tuned. Hey YouTube family. So this drive to work, I can't help but keep thinking about the tornado and the devastation. I can just sit and look at the pictures, and actually made me leave late this morning because I was going through pictures on Facebook, and it's just devastating. And I told you about the youth minister and his wife, how they both had to have surgery and their little baby went to Vanderbilt, and how their toddler died. And then I saw another family. It was a husband and wife with a child, a small child, not sure of the age, a toddler, and they all died. And I just think, what in the world? And I don't know if you saw that movie Twister, but that movie, it's a really old movie. And one of the things that one of the main characters was doing is studying storms, and people study storms. And one thing we wanted to be able to do is to be able to warn people so they can take cover. Now, there are states that get tornadoes a lot more often than we do, and maybe they have more warning, but I know, like in Oklahoma and stuff, there's still deaths. There still always seems to be deaths. And in Oklahoma, I think they have cellars to go into and stuff like that. I mean, in my house, I don't have anywhere to go except the center room of the house, so I don't know that I would be protected if it takes your whole house, So the death toll keeps climbing and climbing. It's in the 20s now, the last I heard. And so just, those two family stories, that's two that I've seen specifically. It's just sad. It makes me sad. And then I get up and you think, well, life just goes on. It doesn't matter what happens. When we go through a tragedy, or, somebody dies in your family, or somebody's sick, somebody has cancer, life just goes on. It does not stop. It doesn't stop. And I think sometimes we do have to try and slow down and just maybe, take time to grieve. Take time to grieve for Nashville and what's happened. When I say Nashville, I mean everywhere that was hit with this tornado. And one of the radio stations, I was impressed with what they did. I listen to The Fish sometimes, and sometimes I listen to K-Love. But The Fish was going to do, yesterday they were going to do Hope for Guatemala and raise money for Guatemala, and it's a good cause and all that stuff. But because the tornado came, they dropped that, and they're going to do it later, and they focused on Nashville and the recovery and serving. And I'm really impressed by that, because we do need to stop, and we need to help, and we need to recover. And I know there was a prayer service for the youth minister's family. There was a live stream of it. I haven't been able to watch it yet, but I want to watch that, because I'm sure that will be encouraging. But yeah, life just goes on as you try to deal with things. And then, you get to school, or for me, I get to work, and, I'm teaching about chemical reactions today, and really, Because does that really even matter? It's just hard to put things in perspective sometimes. Or I want to put them in perspective and just not, I just don't want to teach about chemical reactions because, I don't know, it's too much other stuff going on. But you go through and you stick to a routine. And sometimes they say that's good to stick to the routine so you can get through it and it helps heal and so forth, and I'm sure it does. Time always helps, and after some time, Nashville will be cleaned up. It will be recovered. Families will heal and move on with their lives. Yeah. So if you can, remember Nashville and pray for Nashville and the people that have lost everything, the people who are dealing with the loss of a family member. Some people still can't be found, and so that's probably not a good thing. But I just wonder how did this happen that enough warning was not given so people could take cover? And I tell you what, make sure your phone apps are such that they give you the warning, and whether you're sleeping or whatever. I know Maddie Van Halen mentioned that he didn't get the warning on his phone because he had updated an app, and so he had set his app so it would disturb him when he's sleeping, but when he uploaded it changed the settings. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. So sometimes I get storm warnings, alerts, and sometimes I don't. So I need to check that myself. I need to check my phone. I need to get the right app. I may get the NOAA app, NOAA. And because we need to have those warnings. And, we have sirens, but if everybody was asleep, okay, so you're asleep at 2:30 in the morning, so you may not even hear a siren. But the phone alert is usually pretty loud, and it should wake you up like an alarm clock did. And I'm afraid the families that lost their lives, I don't know if they even knew it was coming. So they were probably sleeping upstairs, and yeah. So check your phone, get the right apps so you can be alerted. And because in this day and age, we should be able to warn of tornadoes coming. And maybe it was just because it was so early in the morning. I don't know. I'm just so sad for these people. Anyway, like I said, I need to watch some kitten videos, which I haven't done yet. I keep looking at the news, trying to see what's going on. I think some of our students may go help with school today, so they are starting to ask for volunteers, so that's good. And people will volunteer. That's what we do. And not just the Nashville area. I think that's everywhere in the United States. I think that's everywhere in our country. People will help if there's a need, and they can. So, y'all, find somebody to serve today. Bring somebody some joy. We never know what people are going through. Here in Nashville, people are upset with this tornado, but everywhere, people have a story, and people are going through stuff. If I could sit there and list everything that I'm going through right now, it's like, oh my goodness. And I'm just one person. So there's always so much to pray for, people to pray for. So anyway, I just want to talk a little bit more about that. I don't mean to be depressed about it, but it's just a sad thing. I think at times we do need to just stop, maybe not be depressed, it's just grieving. It's grieving for the people who have lost everything. It's grieving for the people who have lost their lives. It's grieving for the people left behind who have lost family members. And I'm a very compassionate person, so I feel for other people. So anyway, all right, I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I'm sure my day will be okay. Teenagers tend to, I don't know, we'll go on. I mean, we'll go through our school day almost like nothing's happened, and they really don't talk about it much, so they don't ask about it, so they'll just go through their day. So, all right, you all be blessed, and I'll talk to you later.